Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to your scheduled programming every Friday night. We love it. We love it. We got the one and only Charlotte Larsen coming on the show today.
Yes.
If you don't know who that is, trust me, you will by the end of this interview.
I mean, seriously, she does it all. Writer, producer, director, actress.
She's everywhere.
Everything. She's everywhere.
Yeah, she's honestly really inspirational, especially for the up-and-comers trying to break into it. I mean, it shows she is epitome of someone who you don't have to just be an actor to try to break into the entertainment industry. You can do so many other things. There's like behind the camera work, there's directing, editing, all this good stuff. So, I mean, she is definitely epitome of that, and I can't wait till the up-and-comers hear this one.
Me too.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. But now, let's get a little crazy. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Crazy Ant Farm. Holy moly! It is 1:31 this week, and we're super duper excited because we're back on camera.
Yes, back on camera.
I know you guys missed our faces.
I know you couldn't stand not seeing us.
I know. We've gotten all the freaking interaction over Instagram and Twitter. They're like, "Where you guys at? Where you guys at?"
Right.
We were taking care of ourselves.
Because you got to do that sometimes.
Exactly.
No.
But 131, man, we got a lot to talk about. I mean, the Emmys were last week, so we're going to be talking about those a little bit. We're going to be talking about, of course, Marvel, Disney, Star Wars, all these amazing things, Warner Brothers. Like, there's some stuff happening with DC as well. So, I mean, we're rocking and rolling with all that. But, of course, before we get all this started, you know your host with the most, myself, J-Lo Fantastic, and the one and only Mouth.
What's up?
Oh boy. I'm sure everybody has seen if you are following us, and if you're not following us, be sure to follow us at Crazy Ant Media and ItCaf Podcast. Our contest, end of the summer contest giveaway. We're super duper excited about that. Now to win, guys, you got to be sure to follow 5 accounts. Crazy Ant Media, like I just told you. ItCat Podcast, like I just told you. The one and only Jeremy Gordon.
Yes.
Myself, J-Lo Fantastic, and the man himself over here.
Crazy Ant Guy, 1970.
That's right. And what will you win, you ask? Well, it's going to be a grand prize of a 1-hour Zoom conversation with Hollywood casting director himself, Jeremy Gordon.
I mean, epic.
Epicness.
Absolutely epic, guys. The amount of information that you can get from him in 1 hour, and it's free for all. You can ask him anything you want, about breaking into the industry. How do I audition? Should I do a self-tape? What's a good for a live read? What's do's? What's don'ts? What should I wear? What color should I have behind me when I do it? Like, anything and everything you want to know, Jeremy Gordon will answer for you. It's, invaluable.
It's going to be great, man. It's going to be great. We've gotten so many people that have entered the contest so far, and we appreciate all of those. But the contest ends next Friday, October 2nd, guys. So be sure to enter and comment on a promotional post so that we know that you are now entered into the contest. I'm super excited for whoever wins. And Jeremy, if you're listening, I'm super excited for whoever gets to talk to you.
Yeah, he's pretty excited about whoever he gets to talk to. He really is, man.
Super epic. But before we get this thing started, we got to plug our merchandise website, www.crazyantmedia.com. Be sure to head over there and click on the merchandise tab, and then scroll at the bottom and click shop now. You get redirected to our Spreadshirt website, and man, we got some new designs up there right now. Super excited about those. We've already gotten, like I said in a promotional post about it this past week, our sales have gone up 60%.
Yes.
Insane, guys. We appreciate everybody who has been purchasing a item. You guys are amazing. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. And if you guys are already entered into the contest and following Jeremy, you saw he was rocking the honorary Crazy Ant t-shirt.
He was.
How good did that shit look, right? You want one of those.
Hell yeah.
You want to be an honorary Crazy Ant?
Exactly, man. But, let's get started. The biggest thing of this past week was the Emmys.
Yes.
Oh, man. But, I don't know why. Even the year before, without Corona, it was still suffering a watch low, an all-time low. But now again, this year, another all-time low for the second year in a row. Only 6.1 million total viewers.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's dropping 12% from last year.
Yeah, Yeah. Now, we should say from 2018 to 2019 was a 33% drop. So the 12% was a little bit better. But I don't know, man. I'm kind of disappointed because I watched it. I didn't know what to expect with the whole COVID thing. I thought Jimmy Kimmel did a really good job.
I think so, too.
And for the situation the way it was and how everything, I thought it was pretty damn entertaining.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, it's true. The first hour literally was Schitt's Creek show.
That was kind of interesting.
First hour.
It was literally first hour comedy, back hour drama.
I
just feel like they should have mixed it up a little bit, made it a little bit more interesting.
But I did like the reactions from the people at home.
Yeah,
and and the little bit of speeches and the different things. I don't know, man. Well, they're going to have to figure something out, though, because it has been steady dropping for the last several years.
Yeah,
so.
It's quite unfortunate. I don't think we'll ever get to a point to where they just don't show the Emmys on television.
Oh, yeah, no.
I don't think they got anything to worry about there, but like you said, need to figure something out because, it is very entertaining. I don't know why people don't watch it, but, to be honest, because, all these great shows that got nominated and or won, they're watching all those shows, so why not watch them win awards for them?
Exactly.
So, it's really interesting, man. It's really interesting. But a lot of records were broken and or made.
Yeah, you missed that if you didn't watch it.
Yeah,
there was history made. Zendaya.
Yes.
First of all, super freaking stoked about Zendaya. Huge congratulations. I loved Euphoria. Just a brilliant show. But Zendaya won, and this is great. She's the youngest actress to ever win Emmy for Best Actress in a Drama.
That's amazing.
Yeah, the youngest ever, and only the second Black actress to ever win the award. Obviously Viola Davis. She won for How to Get Away with Murder. Back in 2015. But there you go. It's amazing to me to think about how long the Emmys have been around, and there's only been 2 Black actresses who have
got
ever
some
won.
work to do, man. Got some work to do.
But congrats, Zendaya. Well deserved.
Yeah,
And
I think a lot of people were very starstruck and shocked by that one because she was going up against some heavy hitters, man.
Literally legends.
Yeah,
and
literally. So I'm super excited for her. I'm so happy.
And her reaction was just priceless.
It was.
It was just good. I think this is the first of many, many awards to come for her.
I agree.
I think her career is just taken off.
Agreed. But of course, it was either Succession or Schitt's Creek. The whole first hour, Schitt's Creek.
Yes.
Became the first series to win every major comedy award.
Yes, including the acting awards.
Yeah.
And that's the first time that's happened. All in the Family came close way back in the 70s, but they didn't run the gambit. But Schitt's Creek, everything. All 9 categories that they were nominated in, they won, and all 7 comedy categories, they won.
Yeah.
That's unheard of.
Super epic, man.
And now they're going to be everywhere.
Exactly.
They're already on Netflix. I saw that they're going into syndication after the wins, and Comedy Central is going to show all of the seasons.
That's epic.
So, now
I heard it's really good.
Everywhere, yeah, and you can watch it everywhere now. So that's great.
Exactly. And we were talking about big things for DC. Watchmen Limited Series marked its first ever comic book adaptation, and it took home the big prize for the limited series award.
Yep,
so,
first comic book show to ever do it.
Yeah.
And again, I can't think of a better winner. The show was absolutely brilliant.
A lot of people were talking about it.
And really disappointed that it's not getting a second season.
Yeah.
And by the way, that's not HBO's decision. That they just aren't going to do it. The HBO, I'm sure, wants it as bad as everybody else does. So I don't know. We'll have to keep track on that. Maybe they can lure him back.
Yeah, maybe. I could see it because, like I said, everybody's been talking about it, especially over Twitter. Everybody knows that's where we're on the most. And, yeah, our feeds are just Watchmen.
Yes.
But it's great. It's great. And like we were talking about earlier, making more of a push towards diversity and just equality in general. This is a record number of Black actors that were both nominated and that won this year. So, obviously, they're working towards it. So, that's good. That's good.
Without doubt. They got a long way to go, but they're making steps.
Exactly.
They're working.
You just got to show it.
Anthony Anderson had a great little speech with Jimmy Kimmel about that. He said, this was supposed to be the year when more people were nominated than ever before. This is going to be our show. We're going to come out here and be like, wah! And then COVID happened and we ain't in shit. We at home.
Yeah.
So in the one year that they get the most nominations and the most wins and they planned on running the house and celebrate, they couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So he went on this little rant about that and everything. And then, but it was well done, I thought, and entertaining. Even though a serious message he was trying to convey, still Anthony Anderson. It was funny and good
exactly.
Stuff,
and I mean, I was super happy to see Tyler Perry win the Governor's Award.
Oh, what?
That was an amazing speech, man, about his grandmother's quilt and it was so good.
Yeah, man, and just not knowing the importance of something until well after, and I guess just emphasizing you never know, so always take the time to pay attention and just again, well deserved, man. This guy is just slaying right now.
He is. If you haven't listened to that speech, be sure to find it on YouTube somewhere. It's an amazing speech. It really is.
All I say every time we talk about Tyler Perry, all I can stress is the guy was in his car.
Yeah.
Okay? He went out, he was chasing his dreams. Everybody told him no. Never gonna happen. Move on. Pass. See ya. No. And he said, I'm gonna do it on my own then.
Exactly.
And now I mean, the guy's huge.
Yeah.
So that should inspire every one of you out there. Do like Tyler Perry.
Exactly. But with all this stuff happening, COVID, I mean, everybody talking about it, COVID, Disney, it has confirmed a few pushbacks on the release calendars, several major pushbacks on the release calendar.
Yeah.
Talking about Steven Spielberg's West Side Story, and I mean Pixar's Soul, which might go to Disney Plus. I mean, that one's up in the air right now. But West Side Story has been pushed back to December 10th of 2021, and Soul is apparently keeping its release date at November 20th. We'll see what happens with that one.
Right.
Free Guy is now are staying at December 11th, and The Kingsman is being pushed to February 26th or February 12th of 2021.
Yeah, it got moved up a little bit. So, it's just crazy movement, though. I'm with you, though. I'm shocked by Soul. I thought that would be moved, but apparently they're going to try to keep that around the Christmas holiday to kind of maybe score off the holiday. But
like I said, we'll see, because I mean they've been trying to do that with a lot of stuff, and I mean we see how that turned out.
It's true.
Artemis Fowl and Mulan, and it's just crazy time, man. It's a crazy time, and they have confirmed. We had some theories about it last week, but they have confirmed that Black Widow, Eternals, and Shang-Chi have all been pushed back from their release dates.
Yeah, they weren't. They while they'll take chances on Pixar and the other, they will never take chances on Marvel Studios. So they are not blowing any opportunity to full out be in theaters with Marvel movies. So they've decided to push those back. This is crazy though. Black Widow, it'll literally be a year from when it was originally supposed to be released.
Yeah.
I mean, that is insane to me. Now, May 7th of 2021. Eternals, November 5th of 2021. And Shang-Chi, The Legend of the Ten Rings, July 9th of 2021. They did say, though, that this will not impact any of the 2022 movies. They are all on schedule. They're all going to stay on the dates that they were supposedly supposed... Okay, so the bad news is, then... This is the first time in 11 years that Marvel will not have a movie released in the theaters. The first time in 11 years. That's the bad news. The good news is that next year and 2022, there will be 4 Marvel movies in 2021 and 4 Marvel movies in 2022.
That's huge.
So, you might not get any this year, but you're going to get a shit ton in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
So... barring the COVID.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like I was going to say, depending on how everything goes with the release calendar and with COVID and the theaters being opened back up, I wouldn't be surprised if Black Widow gets put on Disney Plus, just because everything's so up in the air, like we've been talking about for months and months now. Everything's so up in the air, and I mean... a year after it was supposed to be released. That is absolutely insane. And I mean, all the NBA players have already seen it. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I want to see it.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
So, I think, if anything, they'll do the premium thing like they did with Mulan. So, we'll see. I hope not, but we'll see, man. We'll see.
Yeah, I hope not either. I don't know.
You just want to see it in theaters.
I do. I mean, I'm that guy.
Would you rather see it on Disney Plus and then never see it at all in theaters?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
You would just rather never see it at all?
No, oh, I no, I mean, I would not rather see it on Disney Plus than never see it in the theaters. I want to see it in the theaters.
Yeah.
I would
But
rather.
if you could, like, if they're going to shut down theaters altogether,
Well,
would
sure.
you rather?
Of course, if they shut down theaters and there's no chance at it being in a theater, then of course I want to watch it
I
on
think
Disney
that's
Plus.
what might happen. I'm just
But
saying.
I mean, look, the theaters are desperate though. When they found out about all these moves, no Marvel movies, they literally were calling Disney's begging for something to happen, because now that the idea that they're going to have to go through the rest of this year with no blockbusters, they're in trouble.
Yeah,
so
it's crazy because literally Tenet was the only one. Like, nothing else really is coming out. Nothing that you've really heard of.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I don't know.
But the demand is there, though. Okay, that's proof positive, and I guess this could swing both ways because, like you said, you'd be okay with Black Widow on Disney Plus, right? And obviously, I want to see it in the theaters. But the point is, the demand is there. So if it's in the theaters, people are going to swarm to go see it, and if it's on Disney Plus, people are going to see it. The proof of that. WandaVision.
Yeah.
It's probably the most talked about thing of the Emmys that night. None of the awards. The most talked about thing was the WandaVision trailer. Apparently, this thing had 53 million views within the first 24 hours after it aired during the Emmys. Okay, that shows you right there the demand that people have for Marvel product.
Yeah.
Whether it's on Disney Plus, like WandaVision's going to be, or in the theaters, people want that shit. It's the most views for any trailer that's ever debuted for a streamer. That should tell you everything right there.
Yeah.
So, and the WandaVision trailer, y'all. What?
I was confused.
It is set. Now, man, there were Easter eggs to Doctor Strange, to Hulk, to the Avengers movies, to like all kinds of the Marvel movies, but then also all the comic book references. Her kids, House of M, just so much stuff. I mean, the introduction of the Young Avengers. If you go back and watch this trailer, you will find new Easter eggs every time you watch it. And I'm so freaking excited because it is setting up everything, y'all. Watch this trailer and you will see it is setting up the Young Avengers. It is setting up the Fantastic Four. It is setting up Doctor Strange 2. It is setting up even possibly Red Hulk. It's going to set up the introduction of the mutants into the MCU. Just everything. Everything.
I think they need to do it the right way because, like myself, if a person that has not really read any of the source material, they start watching them and be like, what the fuck? So I trust Marvel. Don't get me wrong. So, I feel like at the first couple episodes, they'll establish what they're doing and how the storyline impacts, further characters and further development of the storyline. But like I said, if you're not a comic book person and you watch this, you are probably confused as hell.
I think, though, that they kind of give you a clue with the title, though. I remember when they first announced the title, everybody was like, why is it, together? Don't you mean Wanda and Vision? And it's very clearly one word, WandaVision. And I think that's the tease. That's the hint. This is all being done by Wanda. Vision died, guys, remember? Vision's not alive. So I think the hint of WandaVision is just that. This is Wanda's vision. So I don't know. I think that's the hint. I think they were creative with that.
Yeah, like I said, have full faith in Marvel. They haven't done anything wrong yet. So,
they have not.
Super excited.
Speaking of super excited.
Right? This was a rumor a couple months ago we talked about.
It's true.
But now it's confirmed, guys.
Apparently so.
Yeah.
Nick Fury. You can't get rid of him.
You can't.
You can't. Director of S.H.I.E.L.D. I know Coulson took over. Now Coulson's not even director anymore. We don't know. Is Fury actually Fury? We don't know. None of that we don't know. If you don't know what we're talking about, watch Captain Marvel, watch all that stuff. But what we do know is that Samuel L. Jackson is going to reprise the role of Nick Fury in a Disney Plus series.
I'm super excited about that.
Oh, man, what? And I don't know if it's going to be like a prequel series, a current series, or will it bounce back and forth? We all know with the de-aging technology that they showed in Captain Marvel, they can do both.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know, but I'm excited as hell because I love Sam Jackson's Nick Fury.
I do too.
I think it's just going to be, it's a nice transition from the people who are devastated that S.H.I.E.L.D. is over now.
Yeah.
But, well, now you got Nick Fury.
Man.
So, and on Disney Plus. So Nick Fury can finally be true to Samuel L. Jackson. Nick Fury can finally start dropping some F-bombs.
Oh, but it's PG-13. He could only get like one.
One. But even one is better than none. I mean, it's Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah,
Come on.
I mean, they let like one slide for Hamilton. So,
It's true.
mean, of course they're going to let one slide for Samuel L. Jackson.
You would think.
Yeah.
You would think.
But other exciting things happening with Marvel and everything Disney. Marvel's Hellstorm unveiled its first trailer, and the show looks super badass.
It does. And this one it's on Hulu and will be rated R, from what I understand.
Yeah, like
at least
super dark.
Really dark, yeah. For anybody who doesn't know, who doesn't follow the comic books, I mean, there's a lot of people who don't. It follows Damien and Anna Hellstrom, the son and daughter of a mysterious, powerful serial killer, as they track down the worst of humanity. This is a really popular comic book series, and a lot of people were kind of shocked that they were making this into a series, because it is so dark, but I'm excited for it. It's one of the only ones that survived the when they were like, oh, Loeb is out of here, and Feige's taking over everything, and Marvel Studios is taking over television.
Yeah.
It was one of the only projects that was announced prior to all that actually survived the slate.
Yeah.
So, and is going to make it. So we'll see. October. Comes out October 16th. So
yeah,
just
right around the
weeks.
corner.
Yeah.
Freaking, it's exciting. It's exciting because, I mean, we saw how the dark Marvel shows did on Netflix. So, I mean, I can imagine these are going to be just as good.
Yes.
Hopefully, anyway. Hopefully. Black Mirror director Toby Haynes will direct Disney Plus's Rogue One spinoff.
Yes.
We know this one's been in talks. Like, how is it going to happen? How is it going to happen? Well, we've been talking about it. Episodically are televised.
Yes.
It's going to Disney Plus, so that's super exciting, and it's going to follow what's his face there, Diego.
Yes.
So it's going to be good, guys. It's going to be good. It's going to be before the events of Rogue One, because I know a lot of people had a question about that. I mean, I thought they died at the end of Rogue One. They did, apparently. So it's going to be following the events leading up to Rogue One.
Yes. Now, don't worry. Tony Gilroy, who wrote the movie Rogue One, and was supposed to showrun and direct the series, he's still involved, guys. He's still going to be the showrunner. He just didn't feel comfortable going back and forth, traveling from the UK and New York because of the COVID restrictions that they have in both countries. So he's going to stay on as showrunner, and he kind of passed the baton to for the directing responsibilities. So. Yeah, I think they're in good shape.
I agree.
If you still have the writer of the original film on as the showrunner, you're in good shape.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be cool.
Agreed. Well, damn, Dope Sick is just gearing up, man.
Danny Strong is on a mission, man, to have the most epic cast in the history of any show ever.
Yeah.
Like, this guy is just... He got Eliza, y'all. Eliza. What?
Yeah.
Philippa Sue. Philippa Sue.
It's crazy.
I know. And remember Limitless? Remember the TV show they did of Limitless that was based on the movie or whatever? Yeah. They got the main star from Limitless, too.
That's epic.
Yeah, Jake McDormand.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the possibilities are just insane with this cast.
So super excited, man. Like, this one just keeps racking up, and I keep getting details about the storyline and details about these characters. Like, it's just going to turn out to be badass. But, of course, everything Danny puts his hands on, like, it's badass.
It's true. Absolutely. And these two, as if they weren't epic enough, let me remind you, Michael Keaton, Peter Sarsgaard, Caitlin Dever, and Will Poulter are the rest of the cast. Like, and he's probably not done. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah.
He's probably not done. Danny,
like,
calm down.
Do you sleep?
All right.
Do you sleep?
Right?
It's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. But other crazy things happening is Family Guy and Bob's Burgers have both been renewed for 2 more seasons over at Fox. The renewals will put Family Guy to air through its 21st season, and Bob's Burgers have been on for 13. It's going to be 13 seasons. And super crazy. And I mean, it will push Seth MacFarlane created series towards 400 total episodes.
That's insane.
It's super
That
insane.
is insane.
Following in the lines of The Simpsons, it makes sense. It's great. It's absolutely great.
All kinds of casting announcements. They're recasting everybody because of diversity and everything. So Alex Desert, I know, is coming on to one of the shows. So we'll be talking about that, I'm sure. Look foul for the social media accounts for that. But this is exciting, though. MacFarlane is just killing it. To have any show hit 400 100 episodes is just unheard of nowadays. I mean, it's insane. So,
yeah, absolutely wild.
Congratulations.
Yeah. This is interesting. Liv Tyler told the producers that she is not going to move forward in 911 Lone Star. She approached the producers over the summer, talked about exiting the show despite having a multi-year contract. Her decision was due, at least in part, to concerns of traveling back and forth from her home in the UK and to shoot the show in the US, which makes sense. I mean, you got to worry about your health. Her character, Michelle Blake, will not be recast or killed off, leaving the door open for her to possibly return.
That's good.
I think more shows should do that.
Me too. Especially since her character had a pretty significant storyline with Rob Lowe's character.
Yeah.
So, but, it's just like we just talked about with Rogue One with Gilroy. I mean, it makes sense. There are huge restrictions over in the UK and huge restrictions here still. So if you planned on having to go back and forth at any kind of point, it only makes sense to be a little worried about that. So, sad to see her go, but, got to do what you got to do. Gina Torres, though, from Suits and Pearson is coming on as a series regular. So that's going to kind of fill the void for that. So.
Yeah. Oh. That's a lot there. That's a lot. Actress Haley Marie Norman is suing ABC. Tracy Ellis Ross and Keena Barris and others are claiming they appropriated the show she had been pitching and turned it into Blackish, and then the spinoff Mixedish. Norman says in October of 2017 she signed a deal with Big Breakfast to write and executive produce and star in the series, and that the company shares with the parent artist First, a production and management company that counts Ross and Barris amongst its clients. She alleges that both Ross and her manager, Brian Dobbins, were involved in the development of her series, and claims Dobbins pitched it to Barris and he wasn't interested. Her series was described as a 30-minute sitcom employing flashbacks that follows the journey of a mixed-race female protagonist as she grapples with the biracial identity while living in the suburbs surrounded by both of her African-American and Caucasian families. Apparently, this show was pitched in late 2018 to Showtime, Netflix, HBO, Hulu, Amazon, and Starz, and they all passed. That sounds pretty shady.
Yeah, because then just right after she pitched in late 2018, in 2019, Tracy Ellis Ross said, hey, let's revisit this, let's rethink about this, and then all of a sudden, Mixedish was pitched and said to be going into development on ABC. And so, what? So there you go. She is standing by. She says that this is her show. She registered it as mixed with the WGA in 2016. She's claiming breach of contract, breach of confidence, intentional misrepresentation, and international interference or intentional interference with the contract. And she's seeking some money and profits from Mixedish. I don't know. It does sound pretty shady.
It does.
I mean, you've got two people that are represented by the same management company that she's represented by that were pitched the project and passed on it, and then similar project.
Yeah, he sounds kind of shady, guys. Sounds kind of shady.
Sounds like the Stranger Things deal back in the day. I don't know. I think that the smartest thing to do with this, since they are so similar and there's going to be probably really no way to prove or disprove it, is just settle.
Yeah.
Just give her some money for a Mixedish and move on. I mean, that's my thought on it.
Yeah. But, I mean, or at least let her be a part of it. Like, it seems like they're not even wanting to bring her on to do any sort of creative role. Like, if she felt like that was her show and it's so much like it, even if it spawned the idea of the new show Mixedish, like, let her be a part of it. Like, settle, be a part of it, do all these good things, because, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't want anybody taking our creative idea and, like, flipping it that way. So I'd be pissed. So, I mean, do what's best for you, girl.
And it's a tricky situation because Barris's wife is mixed.
Yeah.
And he says that the whole idea for Mixedish is based on his wife and her life growing up. They even did an episode about that on Blackish.
Yeah.
So he can claim that, and how can you dispute that?
Yeah,
but
how
then,
can you?
But then she's got this that she wrote and pitched in 2016, well before Mixed Dish. So how can you dispute that? And then so that's what I'm saying. I agree with you. Maybe just give her a producer title or just some sort of creative title, and pay her some money and just let it be.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly.
Can't everybody just be happy?
I know, right? Like, well, now going over to Warner Media, it appears that Zack Snyder will be getting Ben Affleck back as Batman, Henry Cavill as Superman, and Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman back into the action to shoot the new footage for Justice League Snyder Cut.
Yes.
Also set to appear on the call sheet is expected in a week or so long is Ray Fisher as Cyborg, even though he's going through a whole bunch of shit right now.
Yes.
So that's going to be interesting. In addition, it's going to be the first time Affleck, Cavill, and Fisher will be suiting up as the trio, Batman, Superman, and Cyborg, since their work on the original film. But at least it's confirmed they're coming back.
Or is it? Okay. At least Cavill is denying it. He's saying, even though Snyder and Warner Brothers have confirmed it, Cavill is still saying, as recently as this week in an interview, he is not doing any reshoots as Superman. So I don't know what that means.
Hollywood, man. Hollywood.
Did people not tell Cavill yet? Did Snyder and Warner Brothers get this all taken care of? They just haven't passed it along to Cavill yet? I don't know. And Fisher may be talking himself out of it. Like Logan said, he's got all kinds of stuff going on. You guys know the battle that he's having with Warner Brothers and everything right now because of what happened on the set of the original Justice League. And apparently there's some issues, and they might not renegotiate his contract to let him in on these reshoots, and he might be out of The Flash as well. Apparently he was not happy with his cameo role in The Flash that was expected to take place. He wanted more scenes and more money, and Warner Brothers said no, so we don't know. Yeah. Ray Fisher,
everything's up in the air with that one, man. And I mean, it's hard to knock the guy because obviously some stuff happened. I mean, other actors are coming to his call saying, confirming, yes, this stuff happened. But I don't know. Is there a certain point where you take it too far into where it actually messes with your financial benefits and your money and how you're approaching Hollywood? Like, maybe. I feel like maybe.
Yeah, because, I mean, Zack Snyder has said time and time again that Cyborg is the central character in his version of Justice League.
Yeah.
And that it isn't a hugely expanded role and plays just like an epic part in this. So if you if you talk yourself out of that, like, what are you going to do, man?
Yeah.
I mean, just like, at some point you got to be like, we got to let the legal stuff be the legal stuff, but I got to be over here and do what I need to do because, that's going to hurt Zack Snyder too.
Exactly.
If Fisher is somehow booted out of this. So, I hope not. I
hope not either.
Because the fans want to see Snyder's vision of this movie.
They do.
And if his vision is solely centered around Cyborg being the main character, you kind of need Cyborg.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I hope it all works out.
Super crazy, man. Super crazy. But this is interesting because I don't think anybody saw this coming, but maybe, since she got pregnant.
Yes.
But Supergirl will end its run after the upcoming season. It's going to be its 6th season. The show will have 20 episodes in its final season, which the CW says will begin production later this month. I'm honestly not surprised because of the Lois and Lane introduction and that show happening. And I mean, they kind of used Supergirl to introduce the CW's universe as Superman and did all that stuff. So, I mean, and I mean, like Stephen Amell said, it's a lot of work being on a CW show.
It is.
I mean, like, what's her face there? Batwoman. I mean, who?
Yeah, Ruby Rose.
Yeah, who got off of it. I mean, maybe sometimes you just got to hang up that cape. You just got to be like, this is it.
Yeah, it's a hardcore commitment, guys. Those shows, I mean, they're intense. And just having a baby, not even, she's still pregnant. She's about to have a baby. In fact, when they go into production in a couple of weeks, they're doing it without her. The first few episodes are going to have to cover around the fact that she's not there.
Yeah.
So it only makes sense. I mean, and like you said, with the introduction of Superman and Lois Lane as a new show coming in and kind of Superman taking over that role in the Arrowverse, it only makes sense. But the good news is that, they're not going to kill her off.
Yeah.
So she can always kind of make a reappearance in the Arrowverse as Supergirl anytime they want her on a crossover or a guest appearance or something like that. I'm sure she'd be more than open to that. It just, it kind of makes sense. But now, even more so can we bring Green Arrow and the Canaries.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying. Just make that happen. Just make that
happen. Kat McNamara deserves it.
She does.
Just saying.
I'm just saying.
This next one's super exciting because y'all know you can't see me. Warner Media has announced that John Cena, who is set to play the character of Peacemaker in James Gunn's upcoming Suicide Squad, will star in his own series based on that character, and it's going to debut on HBO Max. Gunn himself will write all 8 episodes to the untitled series so far. Nobody knows what it's called. And will direct multiple episodes, including the pilot. That's super interesting to hear because Guardians.
Well, and yeah, that's the bad news, guys. Apparently, the report is, and Gunn did say yes, it's true. It will interfere with the filming of Guardians.
Yeah.
So, I guess he feels comfortable with that, and Marvel's okay with that because of all the pushbacks. So I don't know, but that sucks.
Yeah.
Super excited for Cena and Peacemaker.
Oh, yeah.
But kind of bummed if it's going to push back Guardians.
Well, everything that I've seen over social media and, like, what other cast members have said, like, Cena is the life on that set. Like, he is absolutely a joy and gem to work with. And, I mean, dude, come on the show.
Like, seriously. Come on. Come on, Cena.
Would love it. Would absolutely love it. But something that I don't love is Warner Media. They're doing a lot of reboots, and I mean, especially with their old titles. They announced that The Pretty Little Liars is going to get rebooted, but it's going to be all new characters with a whole new town, whole new storyline. Yeah. But still, same title. Like,
Pretty Little Liars, Original Sin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you put Original Sin behind it.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. They are clarifying, though, that while it is a new town, just, about 20 miles outside of the original town of Pretty Little Liars or whatever, it all does take place in that little universe. So what?
Yeah,
it's new. It's new characters, new murder mystery, new bad guy, new. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Why couldn't you just rename it? I mean, Pretty Little Liars, if you kind of think about it, storyline-wise, it's kind of like Riverdale. So, I mean, just rename it. In my opinion.
Well, and it sounds exactly the same as the original. I mean, a new group of teenage girls who are haunted by events that took place in their town 20 years ago, paying for the sins that they committed and their parents committed by some unknown, anonymous person that's haunting them. Like, that's exactly like Pretty Little Liars. I mean, I don't know. And it's only been 3 years.
Yeah.
This thing, like, literally just went off the air at the end of 2017. I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, they're doing some interesting and questionable things. Warner Brothers is fast-tracking a new Father of the Bride movie. This latest reboot will revolve around a Latino family and will tell the story of a father coming to grips with his daughter's upcoming wedding through the prism of multiple relationships within a big, sprawling Cuban-American family, and it'll be more of a rom-com than the previous versions of the film. So, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're not excited about that, like we're not excited about that, you're going to be really happy because on Netflix today, right now, probably as you're listening to this, Father of the Bride 3-ish released with the original cast and the original people, kind of a sequel of the first 2 movies. It was under wraps. We don't know what it's about, what's going on, but they're all back. It's a sequel to it, and it's on Netflix. It dropped today.
I wonder if Netflix got a whiff that this other film was happening, and they were like, let us do this real quick.
Yeah. So I'm gonna check that out for sure later on, and but. The original cast was so epic. Do you want to, reboot it? No.
Oh, my goodness.
The answer is no.
No, yeah. But, I mean, of course, after a few weeks of us not talking about any sexual harassment at Viacom CBS, we're back to it.
It's true.
Viacom CBS has concluded its investigation into an allegation that CEO Bob Bakish touched a woman inappropriately at a holiday party back in 2016. The complaint was made by a former Nickelodeon employee, and she alleged that he had touched her in the on her rear at the party, and a spokesperson for the company said in a statement, and an independent review of the alleged incident has concluded, and the investigation did not support the allegation. They're pretty good at covering shit up. They're still paying less, so just saying.
This company cannot get away from these type of things.
No.
Hey, look, if they say the allegation didn't prove to be true and they did this investigation and Bacchus is cleared, okay. All right, who are we to dispute that? We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. We weren't there.
What we do know is that CBS Viacom cannot get away from these type of situations.
Their track record, man. Their track record is awful with sexual harassment.
Yeah, if it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a fucking duck.
Quack,
That's
quack,
all I'm
motherfuckers.
saying. I mean, come on, guys. There's so much of it going on there.
I know. It's kind of disgusting.
It is.
So, yeah. But anyway, everybody knows Paramount Network is set to rebrand to Paramount Movie Network now, since some things are happening.
Yeah, this one was surprising though. I mean, we get the rebranding of CBS All Access, but Paramount Network just out of nowhere, like, oh no, now we're Paramount Movie Network.
Yeah.
What? And so initially the big question was, what does that mean for Yellowstone, which has been like slaying on it, with all kinds of huge ratings and the most watched show and like all these epic records that it keeps breaking and everything. And the reason they're saying what's up with Yellowstone is because by making this move, they're going fully all out scripted television movies.
Yeah.
With big name stars. That's like what it's going to turn into.
Yeah.
Like that's it. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. It's super confusing. And I mean, they even canceled a shit ton of unscripted titles like My Ink Masters, super pissed about that, Wife Swap, and The Battle of the Fittest Couples, and other titles including Bar Rescue and Lip Sync Battles will move over to other Viacom CBS networks. Apparently those are doing well enough, and the newly branded network is planning to air 52 original movies this year on the network, with one mini-series and scripted series per quarter.
Yes. And so now the big question, what about Yellowstone?
Yeah.
Because it's a huge hit for them. It's not going anywhere. It's apparently staying on the new network. And their answer for that is they're likely going to air back-to-back episodes every week as if it was a 2-hour TV movie.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're going to keep that scripted series. It's the only scripted series moving forward. So, on that network, and they're going to do them back-to-back episodes like a 2-hour movie. And then they're talking about possible spin-offs, spin-off TV movies based on the Yellowstone, world.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
And I mean, you can just watch it on the Peacock, guys. If you want to watch it and don't want to mess with Paramount, just go to the Peacock and watch it.
There you go.
Yeah. Now heading over to NBC Universal. Speaking of the Peacock, John Carpenter's original Halloween and Halloween 4 and Halloween 5 are returning to theaters and drive-ins for more than 24 U.S. markets in October. Makes sense. Halloween.
Yes.
Super excited. Don't really know the details about that yet, but the films are going to be played back-to-back in indoor theaters. And, I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. It's up. Apparently, it's up to the exhibitors whether they want to do that.
Yeah.
So, whether they want to show it back to back or show it, just one or whatever. But I think it's a good idea. Those are huge hit movies, especially the original Halloween. That's badass.
I think it's a huge ploy because of the remakes. There was supposed to be another one this Halloween, so they're like, oh, let's just fill that gap.
I'm just saying, I personally, to sit in a car at a drive-in out in the middle of the wooded area and watch the original Halloween would be scary as fuck. I'm just saying, it's a brilliant move. You should have people out there as Mike Myers and shit. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
just don't shoot him. Just don't shoot him. It's an actor. Don't shoot him.
Right.
It's just a guy we hired to scare you at the car. Don't shoot him.
Don't do it. But NBC is also doing some other cool things. They're moving up the premiere date of This Is Us, giving us one of the earliest debuts of any network as a fall drama as production starts to ramp up. And and it's going to be the series' 5th season. And it was supposed to be for November 10th, but now it's supposed to debut on October 27th.
Yes,
so super excited about that. Maybe throwing out some theories out there. Maybe it's because of Mandy Moore getting pregnant. Maybe they wanted to help that out a little bit. But yeah, I'm super excited. It's a great storyline. Last season was kind of but I mean, the next season should be pretty good, at least what they've been setting up. So
it's true. And you always have to wait for This Is Us, too. It's like, come on, where is it? Now it'll be the first one. It beats Grey's. It beats, like, all the other networks' dramas. It's going to be the first one.
Yeah.
So you don't have to wait for it this time.
Exactly.
It's going to be exciting.
Exactly. Oh, this is cool. Chris Rock is coming back to host Saturday Night Live, and it's going to be the first episode of the 46th season, and it's going to be on October 3rd.
Yes.
So, like, next Saturday. And it will be his 3rd appearance as the host, and Megan Thee Stallion will make her debut on SNL as a musical guest.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's a huge platform, so I'm sure she's excited.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I just saw, too, all 45 years of SNL will be on the Peacock.
Very nice.
They just announced they're going to be putting all 45 seasons of it on the Peacock.
That's
for
crazy.
you to be able to watch. Yeah, right? That's crazy. But awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, so I love the old season.
Yeah.
So
go back to John Belushi. Like, definitely.
Yes.
It'd be fucking badass.
Yes.
Heading over to Lionsgate and Starz. Starz has renewed Power Book 2 of Ghost. It's going to be for its 2nd season. News of the pickup comes just 3 episodes into season 1. Apparently, it's doing really well over there. And just over 2 weeks since the show's premiere. So I'm super excited about that. Apparently, it scored like around 7.5 million viewers in the first week. More than the Emmys.
Yeah.
That's awesome, though. That's awesome. I heard it's really good, bringing back a lot of original characters from the original series and introducing some new characters. Yep. So, badass.
Yeah, man. I mean, that is a powerhouse franchise on Starz. There's no doubt about it. I mean, that's just the first of, 3 planned spinoffs that they've got coming. So, good for them, man.
Badass.
50 Cent.
50 Cent.
Killing it, man.
Tiffany Haddish has joined Nicolas Cage in Lionsgate's action comedy, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Okay.
Yeah, this film just sounds crazy to me. It's Nicolas Cage. This is the one we told you about a couple of weeks ago, where he's playing himself. Okay, he's playing himself, and he accepts $1 million offer to attend a birthday party of a super fan. Okay, played by Pedro Pascal. Okay, and then apparently something goes wrong. A wildly dangerous turn happens. Cage is forced to live up to his own legend by channeling all of his iconic on-screen characters in order to save himself and his loved ones.
Interesting.
I just think this is going to be crazy.
Interesting.
I mean, what? Nicolas Cage has had some interesting characters.
Yeah.
So the idea that he's going to be playing them all as himself to save the world just seems like, I don't know. This is either going to be epic or just horrible.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any in between.
Agreed.
I don't know.
And Pedro just popped up in Game of Thrones. I had no idea he was in Game of Thrones.
I mean, that's the beauty.
Everywhere.
Right? That's the beauty of all these binge-watching old shows. You're like, damn.
Yeah.
I mean, all these people were in all these things. How did we not know? It's just crazy.
It's great. Super excited.
Yes.
Super excited because everybody knows David Letterman has a series. My Next Guest Needs No Introduction. And I've been wondering about the 3rd season. Mm-hmm. Well, they finally announced that the 3rd season will launch on Wednesday, October 21st, with in-depth interviews that consist of 4 episodes with guests including Kim Kardashian West. Her husband was on last season. Mm-hmm. Robert Downey Jr., Dave Chappelle, and Lizzo.
Dude.
Super badass.
I am so excited to see David Letterman interview Robert Downey Jr. and fucking Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Those are going to be 2 epic interviews.
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, whatever.
It'll be kind of like...
Yeah, whatever.
Even Lizzo. But Robert Downey Jr. and Dave Chappelle are going to be badass.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know. I'm so excited about that.
Right? Super epic. Super epic. This is weird.
Yeah, this next one's completely shocked by. Out of nowhere. Alan Arkin is exiting the Comiskey method ahead of its final season. Guys, don't you need him?
Right?
I mean, the whole point of the show, he's the one who's like about the Comiskey man. I don't. How do you do it without the agent? I don't know.
Yeah.
But
good luck. Good luck. See, I'm interested to see what you do.
yeah, apparently he made the decision to leave the series a long time ago.
Yeah.
And his departure will be addressed in the storyline moving forward. And I don't know. I mean, they announced that it was renewed for a final season a few months ago, and there was like no indication that he was leaving. So I don't know.
Right?
They had no idea. Apparently, he made the decision some time ago, but they had no idea. So Chuck Lorre has this problem
shady.
with shows with people just leaving.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
it's kind of shady when you blindside people like that. Like, at least give your 2 weeks, guys.
I mean, it's Michael Douglas.
Yeah.
What the hell, Alan, are you? It's Michael Douglas. You don't just bail on Michael Douglas? I don't know.
No. Interesting, man. Interesting. And I mean, other interesting things happen over at Netflix. The first seasons of Evil and The Unicorn are heading to Netflix as of October 1st. This is a non-exclusive deal with Viacom CBS, meaning that both series will continue to stream on their freshman seasons on CBS All Access as well.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of deals like this, especially with movies right now. They're on multiple platforms, and I mean, it's working out pretty well. So I mean, might as well try the television game as well.
Look, I got to tell you, I loved Evil. Luke Coulter is just badass on Evil. So
Yeah.
if you didn't have CBS All Access and you have Netflix, watch this show. It is badass. I'm telling you guys, you're going to love it. You're going to freaking love it. Just watch it.
Just watch it.
Just watch it. It's worth it.
Oh my goodness. Carey Mulligan is joining Bradley Cooper's upcoming Netflix musical drama, Maestro.
Maestro.
Should have been Maestro. Could have been. Mulligan will play Felicia, the wife of a legendary composer and conductor, Leonard Bernstein. So, yeah, it's going to follow the love story between those two over 30 years. So that's going to be pretty epic. I mean, it's going to be like set in the 40s a little bit and through their 25-year marriage and 3 children. And Cooper co-wrote the script and will direct and produce.
But
Love
not
it.
star. That's what I found out odd about it. It doesn't say star.
Yeah.
So, wrote, produce, and direct, but won't put himself in this one.
Yeah, maybe he's trying different things. They're all perfectionists. Let's get it straight. I mean, everybody that is trying to be an up and comer and break into the entertainment industry, especially if you're an established actor, and then take a crack at directing, and then not only do you take a crack at directing for your first time, you also star in the film along with like Samuel L. Jackson and like Lady Gaga. Like, I'm sure not winning like a best director or best film award, like I'm sure he was like, so I'm gonna try something a little different. So.
Yeah, and maybe like trying not to be typecast too, because it's another musical.
Yeah.
So if he were to cast himself as Bernstein, he's like right back in it. Oh, okay, now he's another musical that he's gonna star in and direct. So I don't know. But he's a brilliant director.
Yeah.
He should have won. He should have won.
I don't know if I would classify A Star Is Born as a musical though.
No, I just mean a sense of playing a musician like Bernstein as a composer or something, So, I don't know.
Yeah. Interesting. In a $30 million deal, Netflix has acquired worldwide rights to The Guilty with Jake Gyllenhaal and Anton Fuqua. Yeah, sure. Directing, and it takes place over the course of a single morning and 911 dispatch call center, bringing it down. Operator Joe Baylor, Gyllenhaal, tries to save the caller that's in grave danger, but he will soon discover that nothing seems as it is, and facing the truth that there's only one way out. The film will be produced by Gyllenhaal and expected to begin production before the year's end.
Damn. That sounds intense.
I got deep.
I'm glad to hear that it was about that, though, because when I first saw this story, I thought Guilty, it was like a true story about him still having Taylor Swift's scarf in the drawer.
Oh.
He was guilty.
Oh, he is. Oh.
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. It's just like, what? If you don't get that, move on. It's fine. It's fine.
But yeah, I think that's good. I think that's more like Best Picture worthy type of film for Netflix that could be nominated. So I mean they've got their stuff, man. They got their stuff. They're still making waves at the Emmys, the Oscars. They're doing good things.
They are. I'm gonna just go on the record right now and say Aaron Sorkin's The Trial of the Chicago 7. Is that what the name of it is?
Yeah.
It's gonna be Oscar nominated.
You think so?
I absolutely think so. If you guys haven't seen that trailer yet, I'm glad you brought that up. But yeah, just watch this trailer and you'll be like, fuck yeah, it's getting an Oscar nomination. Unlike Koran or whatever the hell that thing was, Roma, what was it?
Roma?
Yeah, Roma. No. This one will get the Oscar nomination and I'll watch the whole thing.
I mean, he freaking got Best Director somehow that year, so I don't know how. I still haven't watched it. I didn't watch Parasite either, so
I couldn't get through it, man.
Yeah.
I just could not get through it. But Sorkin, I am thrilled to see. He's always been a brilliant writer. Yeah. Obviously, you guys know he's a brilliant writer. But he made the transition into directing now, and this is his second film that he's directing, and he's obviously as well as talented a director as he is a writer.
Yeah.
Because this film looks epic.
Yeah.
Man, I'm just saying.
Definitely. Well, now heading over to Amazon. They're developing a spin-off series of The Boys.
Yeah.
Oh, it's super epic. The news of the new series will be written and showrun by Craig Rosenberg and described as a college show meets Hunger Games. Holy shit.
Yeah.
With the same heart, satire, and raunchiness that flagships the original series. And it's going to take place at a college for a young adult of superheroes. I'm guessing to trying to learn how to be superheroes and all that good shit.
Yep.
And explore lives of hormonal competitive soups as they put their physical, sexual, and moral boundaries to the test. Interesting.
This is going to be by far. I mean, The Boys is insane.
Yeah, it is.
It's absolutely epic. So now if you're going to tell me we're going to do a college series about soups that are trying to become the next group of 7, for The Boys, it's going to be epic.
Yeah.
And dirty, raunchy, and crazy as hell.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a given.
Right.
I just excited. And by the way, if you guys aren't watching The Boys, watch it. It's freaking so badass.
Yeah, definitely. Natasha Lyonne and Ayla Shawkat?
Sure,
Shawkat are developing a half-hour series at Amazon titled Desert People. Shawkat will write, and while both she and Lloyd will serve as executive producers, along with Maya Rudolph, the series follows a family of Iraq immigrants who run a gentleman's club in Palm Springs. Interesting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so what, she's going to be the parent's adult daughter in L.A. coming to terms with her own sexuality.
Apparently.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know what to say about that. Yeah.
This sounds like it's going to be controversial on every level possible, which is why it's going to be epic and be a huge hit, probably. Yeah. Amazon, we talk about this all the time. Amazon is never scared to take risks.
No.
This is a risky series, and I feel like it's going to pay off.
I agree, man.
Just going to go and say it.
I agree. Apple's doing some risky things, and I think they're going to pay off because they got boatloads of money, so they can afford to take these risks.
That's right.
Apple has picked up the Russo brothers' latest movie, Cherry, an addiction and crime drama to star Tom Holland and Sierra Bravo. Super excited about this one because it's supposed to be super badass.
Yeah, man. If you guys have been looking at Tom Holland's social media, these things that he's been posting from this movie, he basically has PTSD. He's like a veteran, and he has PTSD, but it's like crazy extreme PTSD that's been undiagnosed, and so he's robbing banks now, and he looks freaking evil, psychotic in these things. This is like the furthest thing from fucking Spider-Man ever. So, I'm super excited about it. I think it's gonna be freaking fantastic. This is the one we were talking about too with Michael Gandolfini. He's gonna be in it, so that's gonna be badass.
Doing really well not to be typecast.
Yes,
like him and his people are doing really well.
The devil all the time.
Yeah,
anything but Spider-Man. But I mean, really, I mean, Holland is just killing it right now. $40+ million apparently Apple paid for this. So
Crazy.
yeah, boy, they are shelling out money, man.
They really are. They really are. And you're expected to see this thing early 2021 on Apple TV Plus.
Yes.
So stay tuned for that. And Apple has also ordered High Desert, a half-hour comedy series starring Patricia Arquette, that will be directed and executive produced by Ben Stiller. I love that he stepped behind the camera.
Me too.
Like, I mean, he's doing some amazing things. It follows Arquette, Peggy, a former addict who decides to make a new start after the death of her beloved mother, with whom she lived with in a small desert town of Yucca Valley, California, and makes a life-changing decision to become a private investigator. Yeah, private investigator meets house, I feel like.
Right. And like, I mean, I guess former addicts would make good investigators.
Yeah.
Because they're connected to all this shady shit. Like, interesting premise.
Right.
But if Stiller is behind it and Arquette's involved, I mean, it's going to be good.
Yeah, it's going to be good stuff.
I'm with you, though. I'm just super stoked to see Stiller behind the camera now and making the moves that way because he's an epic talent. So.
He is. Agreed. Well, things are starting to open back up, guys. I mean, we've talked about Los Angeles starting to open back up and a couple of other states, production-wise. And the latest being North Carolina.
Yes.
North Carolina officials have approved a small film and television project, handful of film and television projects to open back up and start filming as a part of its 25% rebate on production expenses, with shooting starting at the end of October.
Yes.
Now, state officials said that new projects will generate direct in-state spend more than $107 million while creating, and the amount of jobs it's creating is insane. 8,671 job opportunities, including 650 crew positions for the state film professionals. And they're doing some projects, man.
Yeah, this is super exciting. I mean, that just goes to show you guys, this is only 5 projects, and it's going to bring in over $100 million to the state. I mean, that's crazy. And like you said, almost 9,000 jobs. And you saw that number. I mean, right, it's like 650. So less than 1,000 of those 8,000 plus jobs is actually on the productions.
Yeah.
That means hotel workers, restaurant workers, in-state workers that will facilitate these productions being filmed in their towns. So that's huge. Anybody who doesn't think that the entertainment industry and the film and television industry contribute and that the tax credits aren't worth it, look at those numbers, okay? It's worth it. Give them tax incentives. Bring them there. I'm telling you, it's worth it. Now, they did reassure that everything is under strict COVID precautions, that there's all kinds of stuff going, that there will be testing, and they're going to follow all the guidelines. But still, guys, I mean, $107 million brought into the state for just 5 things being filmed. That's insane.
Yeah.
It's
exciting stuff, though. It's exciting stuff. I mean, things are starting to open back up and hopefully attempt to get back to normal because everybody needs it. Everybody needs a job. Everybody needs to stay fed. I mean, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But I'm super excited because new opportunities.
And Scream is not on that list. The Scream sequel is not. I guess they didn't qualify for the tax incentive.
Apparently.
Maybe they're spending a little too much money on that, But still, I mean, so there's 6 that we know of that are getting ready to film by the end of October. That's insane.
Hell yeah.
Exciting.
But now it is time for our guest segment, guys. We got the one and only Charlotte Larsen coming on the show to talk about anything and everything she has done in the entertainment industry. She is from across the pond and made her way to California, rocking and rolling as an actor and a producer. She's been on multiple different things like documentaries, television projects, movie projects. It's super exciting, and all the up-and-comers are going to see that if you put your mind to something, you can get the job done.
Yes, and sometimes different paths. Like, her goal was to come here and be an actor, and that didn't work. So she's like, what else can I do to pursue my dream and then still be able to act at some point? Her story is really inspiring.
It is. Well, here she is.
Charlotte Larsen, welcome inside the Crazy Ant Farm. I feel like you've been here forever. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
of
Oh, no problem.
Of course, of course. We're so super excited to talk to you today because you are just this mega epic person in the entertainment industry. I mean, you're an actress, producer, a production company owner, and just it's so fabulous to have you on the show and pass a little bit of advice on to the up and comers trying to break into the entertainment industry. But what we like to do at the beginning of each interview segment is have our guests tell us how they got started in the entertainment industry. Was it something you always wanted to do, or did it come to you a little later in life, or how'd you get started?
Yeah. So I started, I guess, when I was 10 years old. I did my first school play, and I really loved it. I was really into English and drama and history at school, and I did plays throughout school. And then when I went to university, I did a degree in film and theater, and so I, was in, I guess, starting, to learn the industry there,
Mm-hmm.
and I graduated and started my own production company. And I had no idea what I was doing. I just kind of,
Yes.
it's a fly or sink kind of situation. We're still flying, which is great. And in order to get projects in the door, I ended up falling into producing. I ended up trying to produce the projects so that I could do work on them and so on. And yeah, I really still wanted to be acting. I really was, that was what I wanted to do way back from when. So, I was seeing my friends, I was going to plays and seeing them perform on stage, and I'm thinking, this is something I still really want to do. So that was how I ended up acting, and then still continued on producing while I was at it.
I love that. I mean, for a couple of things to take away from that right away, I love the whole it's either going to fly or sink because, no reward without risk, right?
Exactly.
And one of my
Yeah.
favorite quotes is, just take the leap and the net will appear. But you've got to be brave enough to take the leap, and clearly you were, so
Yeah.
that's fantastic. And another thing I take away from that is because the dream of acting never kind of went away, but you were smart enough to understand sometimes you have to find a different route. You have to do what you need to do to facilitate till you get to where you want to go. And I think that it's brilliant, the move that you made, and now you're able to do both. So just right out of the gate, very inspiring for anybody listening
Thank you.
trying to
Yeah.
get into it.
Yeah, it was a situation where I ended up producing, and the acting thing was still what I really wanted to do. So I had to follow that instinct and carry on with that.
Definitely, definitely. And we also see that you went to USC's producing and directing program and NY Film Academy acting program. So, like, literally, you're balancing so many things at once. It's honestly really inspiring just to read your bio, and even more so
Thank
talking to
you.
you, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah, no, it was I've done both, acting training and film school training. Like I said, I had a film degree, film and theater, so that was a little bit of acting, a little bit of film production in both of those degrees, but mostly theoretical. There was a lot of auteur study and genre and all that kind of stuff. But then, after I left university, I needed some more practical training. So USC for the producing and the filmmaking side, and then New York Film Academy I did a summer after high school, and then now I finished Stella Adler Academy of Training as well. So yeah,
Fantastic.
all the training on both sides.
So
It's
I
all
gotta
West Coast
ask though,
training.
because you said theatrical and you were talking about theater before you made the leap to the states. Was theater the direction that you wanted to go with the acting, or was it always something where you saw yourself making the transition from theater to film and television, or how did you balance that?
I think I always wanted to be in film or television, but a lot of training is theater based. So my theater degree, as I said, was mostly theoretical. So I managed to get a little bit of acting in. We did a few productions throughout the year, and I think that a lot of acting training is theater based because that is that's originally where acting started. That's way back in ancient Greece. That's where it started. So yeah, I think I wanted to do film and television, but my theatrical training was really, really grounding and really helpful and made it easy to transition to film and television. It's easier to go from theater to film than it is from film to theater.
Yeah, I was about to say, talk about that transition a little bit, going from theater to on screen, because we always hear that theater performances, they're always trying to make sure they reach everybody in the back of the room. But with on screen performances, you got to be so, like, eloquent and so, like, on your spot. And so, what was that like trying to transition from theater to on screen?
Yeah, so theater as you said, you have to kind of reach everybody, and you're standing on a stage, and it might be a small theater of 99 people, or it might be several thousand people, but you still have to be big in your presence. You have to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that people can hear you, and that's not yelling, but that's projecting. But you need to
Right.
be able to make sure that people can hear you, and that people can see what you're doing from the back as well as from the front. And it's a lot easier, and this training also provides a way to do that. Is with acting theater, it's big, and it's easier to go from big to small, to bring it down. So you go to, with theater acting, you go too far.
Mm-hmm.
You make it as big as possible, and you can always dial it back. But it's easier to do that than it is to start small and then try and get big. So it's definitely, having a theater training for film and television is definitely an advantage.
I bet. Now you're clearly a creator. I mean, the creative side shines through without doubt. But someone who has been on both sides of it, what do you think of the current state of the industry right now, and the move towards streaming, the move towards with the boom of Netflix and Hulu and all these different streamers? As a creator, as somebody who's been behind the camera, in front of the camera, do you like the direction that the industry is going, because you can create your own content to both produce and star in, or do you find it tricky to navigate the way the industry is going right now?
I think it has its advantages and its disadvantages. Like anything, I think having multiple streaming platforms is making it a little easier for people who aren't attached to a big studio or anything like that. It's easier for them to get their work in the door, so to speak. I think that there is so much content that is needed and wanted by different various streaming providers.
Mm-hmm.
There's Netflix, and there's Hulu, and there's Amazon, and there's all these other ones, which is great. So they're screaming out for content, which means that people can make content and get it out there, which is fantastic. But yeah, I think it's definitely, I think that's definitely a positive, especially for people starting out. But I also think that there can be too much of things. Some of it is not as great as it could be, because people are just wanting content, and I think sometimes, not all the time, in fact very rarely, but I think that can be detrimental as well.
Completely agree. It's all about the evolution of the industry. I mean, really. And with that evolution also brings us to our next question: social media, which could be like a double-edged sword at the moment. You could either say something that people really resonate with, or say something that people just have a completely towards like hate group against. So, I mean, what do you think about social media in this day and age? Is it something that you think is a tool, or is it something that you use for personal use?
I mean, I don't really use it as much as most people think I should.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have a Facebook, I have a Twitter I use sometimes, but I guess because I'm a little bit older, I look older than I am, but I mean, I look younger than I am, but I feel that there is some good side to social media, but I'm just someone who's a little technophobic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's good in some ways, but I think that it has become so much. I feel also that it's made a lot of people be far too attached to their phones, and
Mm-hmm.
I think this whole quarantine COVID thing has kind of been a little bit of a blessing, because it means people have to reconnect with people, personally and physically as well. It's getting off your phone and having to actually talk to people and not just being glued to a screen.
Yeah, agreed wholeheartedly, and I love that. I love how you said that. I don't use it as much as some people think I should. I think there's a big back and forth in the industry as to how important or not important it is. So it's always fun to hear somebody say that, because it can be good and bad. I also like how
Yeah.
you addressed that sometimes too much of a good thing can be bad, because I feel like a lot of these streamers, you bring up a really good point. Right now it seems to be quantity over quality, because they're just trying to fill all this space because they need content, and that can be dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, I get a lot of casting notices as well. When I'm going to look for auditions, and they come through and they're like, "Please list your Instagram name," and I'm like, "I don't even have Instagram," so that's not very helpful in that regards. But I think it's also a plus, because it means that I'm not constantly attached to my phone unless I'm actually working.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, we've talked to a lot of different people about it as well, and some of them say that it can be quite unhealthy to be so attached to your phone, especially in the acting game, because, and I mean, the whole entertainment industry, because people can write nasty reviews at just like a click of a second. Like, it's absolutely insane. So I agree with you. I think that it should probably be used in moderation and not as important as some people make it out to be. But I love people coming on and giving their stance on it, because there's so many different like opinions on it.
Yeah, and my roommate is a good example because he puts like he'll go out if he's going out to meet people. Back in the day when we were allowed to go into a restaurant,
Right.
He would take his phone, but he would leave it in the car, and he would have his meal with his friends, and he would have his good time, and then he would get back to his phone in the car, and if there were messages, he would answer. But people are like, "Why didn't you answer me? I texted you like an hour ago," and he's like, "I didn't have my phone on me," and people genuinely don't believe that he didn't have his phone on him.
Wow.
So, we've had situations like that. So, we want to be in the moment. We're both of that kind of, if we're out with friends, we want to pay attention to our friends. We don't want to be glued to our phone. Otherwise, why don't we just stay home?
Right. And especially in this industry, right? I mean, it's the art. We're supposed to be the escape, not the phone, right? We don't want people diving into the phone. We want people to watch what we're doing and see the art that we're creating. I mean...
Yeah, and I think it's especially important as an actor as well, because being an actor is all about being other people and watching other people and learning about how people function and different characters, and it's all about observing. And if you're on your phone, you're not observing life around you, and so you kind of can't really do your work if your phone is constantly the only thing that you look at.
Exactly. And something that we really need to talk about is this documentary. We need to talk about AI. What is this one all about? Like, it just seems so interesting, especially the topic we're talking about with technology and the evolution of the industry. And let's just get a little generalized passage about what this one's about.
Yeah, so it's a documentary that it's right there in the title. It's all about AI. We've had AI in various forms. For many years, technology has grown from nothing essentially to what we have now, and AI includes a whole bunch of stuff. From little. I have a little Roomba vacuum cleaner, and that's technically a robot, and that knows where it's going, and it goes back to its dock to charge, and so on. That's a very specific form of AI, and this documentary goes into other aspects like general AI and what happens when the artificial intelligence becomes as smart or even smarter than humans. And when do we say no? Like, what is the point where we stop and say this is enough? So it kind of explores that. And it also talks about things like driverless cars. And, when you're driving a car as a human being, you have control. And if something is approaching you, you have to make ethical decisions, hit the person that's crossing the street or swerve and hit the post and hurt the car, so to speak. But driverless cars, how do you make a driverless car make that ethical decision?
Exactly.
Do you hit, it's so, there's a whole lot of ethical and moral decisions around AI. There's, what do we do when we get to a point where the AI is smarter than us? And, it talks a lot about 2001: A Space Odyssey. It kind of starts at that point. And said, well, this was what we envisioned, and now we're getting to this point. Like, how do we stop this? And who has control of what happens?
Wow.
So yeah, it's a very it's a great documentary. It's on Prime right now.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna go watch that after
Definitely.
this. But I mean, that's a great like conversation starter. Like, I mean, because think about it, all the technology places, they're always trying to outdo what they did last time. So what point is it too much? I mean, that's kind of scary to think about.
Yeah, it started back in the 50s or whatever. You have the Jetsons and the cartoon with the robot cleaner, and they're set in space, and all these other science fiction sort of artificial intelligence ideas that came that we're now kind of saying, well, they're not really science fiction. They're kind of science fact. So
yeah.
how do we deal with this, and what do we do from here?
Love it, love it, and that's the fun. That's the beauty in documentary filmmaking, right? To start a conversation, to put something out there, and have people address it. I think it's
Absolutely.
one of the best forms of art to get out there because it sparks conversation.
Yeah.
Do you have a medium that you prefer more? Do you like the documentary style filmmaking, or are you more for the entertainment content, or do you like to balance both? Because I feel like some people as filmmakers they kind of fall into this is who I am, this is my avenue, and I'm always curious to see what people think about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all about the story. So if it's a good story, and it could a documentary is a story as well.
Yep.
It's not a narrative. It's not a narrative, but they have narratives. They have a beginning, middle, end. But I think as long as the story, the idea is something that is thought provoking, is something that is going to be for the audience to either think about and be like, oh, I relate to that. This is about me. This is me up there. Or it's something they haven't thought about, something they haven't related to before, but they can go, oh, that's interesting. I never thought about that. I think whatever medium it comes across in, if it's whether it's a TV series, drama, or it's a documentary, or it's a sitcom, I think if that's comes across in any of those mediums, then that's really what my job is. So I
Yes.
think, yeah, anything that gets that message across, that people can think and have their thoughts provoked and start discussions. I think however you do it, your job is done.
You can't see how large we're smiling right
Right?
now,
Like,
but I'm an old school guy, and the second you said it's all about story, I like jumped out of my seat and was cheering. I'm like, yes, a filmmaker who gets it. It's not all
Right.
about explosions and fireworks. It's about story, damn it. Like,
Yeah. I'm
I love
yeah.
that.
I'm all about the characters and the feelings. I'm an emotional person, so I'm very much into, I want to cry, I want to laugh, I want to think about things that I've never explored before. So, that's just me. And a lot of people are like, just give me a car chase, and they're fine. But if it's about this, if the story's great, as long as it's about the story, I'm there.
Yes, and you nailed it. I feel like when I'm watching a movie, I want to connect with somebody. I want to watch it and say I'm that person or I know that person because that's what gets me personally invested in the film. And I think it's
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
important.
I totally think that, our jobs as filmmakers, we are storytellers, and it might even be that, it's something that you don't relate to. Like I've never been an astronaut, but there are actors who have played astronauts and
Right.
have told that story, and I'm like, oh, great, that's not something I've experienced, but that's something I can experience through them, and that's something that I can say, yeah, I don't understand it, but I know what you're going through.
Mhm. Well said. Well said.
definitely, definitely. And you're based out of Los Angeles right now, right?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
So how's the climate there right now? Is the entertainment industry behind the scenes still rocking and rolling, like trying to put things together for the future, or is everything just kind of stalled?
It's kind of doing its own thing. It's going, but it's going slowly. Like I've had auditions for things, and they're saying, "Oh, we were going to shoot it, but now it's going to be the end of the year."
Yeah.
So things are still kind of working behind the scenes. I don't know exactly like what is shooting right now. I know there have been some things, and then we're still kind of in that what are we doing situation, but things are still going. It's great. It's kind of a blessing in disguise because we have a lot of writers. We have a lot of people in production behind the scenes, so we can be working on stuff from home. Writers are writing scripts. There's going to be a ton of content coming out as soon as this is all over. We can start shooting again. Towards the end of the year, there's going to be so much that's released, which is great because everyone's going to be ready to go back to work as soon as we're allowed. So yeah, it's kind of a blessing in disguise, and things are still kind of happening a little bit, but um, yeah, we'll see. It's a day by day thing.
I love that though. I mean, still keeping a positive attitude. The positivity is radiating out of your voice. So I'm happy to hear that because, like we said, we see that so many working actors and actresses like they don't have jobs right now, and if they try to get a day job, especially in Los Angeles or California, that a lot of places are shut down. So it's good to see that they're staying mentally healthy and continuing to progress in other projects that aren't necessarily like about to shoot or anything like that. So I'm
Right.
glad to hear that coming from someone like yourself.
Definite.
Yeah, and I think it's important. As you said, to know mental health is very important, especially when you're isolated, you're stuck at home, you can't do things, you can't do a day job. But I think it's a good opportunity for creators, even actors who might not be shooting something, to make your own content, like write something. You can even
Yes.
shoot little like videos and put them on Facebook or whatever, and just make your own little things with your iPhone. You can just shoot yourself in your yard doing something. So I think there are a lot of opportunities for actors. If we're not necessarily on a set, make your house your set. Start a little YouTube channel or whatever it is, and keep busy, keep your craft going. And writers are at home, and even producers can be doing things from home, and I think there's a lot of work that we can still be doing.
I love
Absolutely.
that. I love that. And here's a question that we've never asked on the podcast before, so I hope you're ready.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. Hit me.
what shows are you watching right now? I mean, because you're a very creative person, so I'm very intrigued to see what type of things you're watching right now in the quarantine climate.
Oh my goodness, I have been watching so much television. It's crazy.
Us too.
And I'm watching I'm binge watching a whole series in like a weekend, and then I'm like, what else do I watch? I have
Right.
nothing else to watch. But I just finished watching even this morning, Defending Jacob on Apple TV.
Oh, I
which
heard
is
that's
great.
so good.
Yeah, Chris Evans. Yep.
Yeah, it's so great. I started watching Dickinson as well. Also on Apple TV. I just finished watching the first season of Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
When we first went into all this quarantine back in March, I'd never seen Homeland, so I watched that whole entire series. I've been watching everything and anything.
That is some serious diversity right there. That
Right?
is range. I'm just like that list
Yeah.
of shows. Yeah. Don't feel bad though. There was some I hadn't seen either. I just discovered Lucifer during quarantine, and was
I
absolutely loved it. So I guess there's some
Yeah.
perks to this thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, you can't feel guilty about not going out and doing things because you're not allowed to. So it's like,
Exactly.
I can't go to the gym today, so I'm going to have to sit here and watch another episode of whatever.
Always
Yeah.
sparking ideas though, right? I mean, as a creator, it always helps to watch things and absorb it all in to get some ideas and spark some stuff, right?
Yeah, and my problem as a producer is that when I watch a TV series or a film or anything like that, I look at the actors and I go, "Oh wow, like I need to work with that actor." And
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm constantly thinking like, "Oh, I need a project with this actor, and I have this project, and this actor will be really great for it." So I'm constantly analyzing even while I'm watching. So
Love it.
sometimes a good thing, sometimes not.
Yeah, I mean, it's all research, right? It's all research. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what we try to do to get people on the show. Like, I mean, it's just great.
It's very like-minded, though. You are a very like-minded. You would fit right into the Crazy Ant Farm
You
and
would.
just be rocking and rolling. Your whole philosophy about how you approach, like I said, I literally cheered when you said story.
Yeah.
It was just, like, I just love the positivity and the attitude and your just whole approach about everything.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, I'm happy to talk to you guys anytime. So
Of
let
course.
me know.
We really freaking appreciate it. But
You keep talking the way you are, we might have a project for you.
right, like yeah, because we are also
Look me
we are also a production company and have multiple things in multiple stages of development. So yeah, I mean, yeah, this is awesome. I love it. You're a great
Hit me up, hit
individual.
me up.
Absolutely.
But what you got coming up? I mean, of course, after all this quarantine stuff, or what you working on at the moment?
I have a TV series that I'm working on with my roommate and best friend, who I've been stuck with for the last few months.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a blessing. But he's a writer and actor, a great talented guy called Michael Benzea, and I'm producing a TV series that he's written called Neon Lights. Which we started to kind of do a little bit of production on before everything shut down.
Yeah.
And now we're on hold, but we're going to get back to that very soon. Very excited about that. It's a great project, and I hope to get that back up and running as soon as we can. And then I have a few other projects as well, so I'm definitely keeping busy.
Love it though. I mean, that's what you got to do. I mean, just everything that you said in this interview is truly inspiring, especially like just keep going no matter what, no matter where you are. If you're in the countryside in England, if you're in Los Angeles, if you're in New York, theater actor, on stage act or on screen actor, I should say, anywhere. I mean, you just keep going, and that's what I love.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely.
Of course, of course. And what we like to do at the end of every interview is ask our guests to leave the up-and-comers with a little piece of advice. What would you say that would probably be the most beneficial thing to help them break into the industry? And what would you say what are the pitfalls to try to avoid?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
anyone, yeah, don't do it. No, for sure. Yeah, anyone who's kind of wanting to get into, I guess, producing or the industry in general. Producing is something a lot of people don't consider. They want to be like the director or the actor,
Right.
but producing is something that someone might want to think about as especially if you're more of a business brain or a more kind of analytical brain. Producing is great for that. And I think anyone trying to get into the industry, just you don't have to go to a film school, but you can just get some friends together and make a short film. You can, even if it doesn't really go anywhere, make a 1-minute film on your iPhone. Just put together little projects, call up film schools, call up film departments at colleges and universities, call up production companies and say, hey, like I wanna be a producer one day or a director one day. But right now, can I come and work on your set? Can I be a production assistant? Can I do anything to be on set? And that way you make contacts, you learn the process as well as you're going. Even if you're just sitting there making coffee for the cast and crew, it's being on the set and learning how it works, but be observant while you're doing it. So get the director his coffee and then sit back and watch what he does.
Yes.
How does he work? How does he work with the actors? Don't just sit there and be like filing your nails or on your phone again. Be there to learn. And I think that's a way to kind of start out. You can, you can go to a film school, but you don't necessarily have to. But being on a set is not only going to get you that experience, it's going to get you contacts. You're going to meet the director, you're going to meet the producer, and they go, hey, you were really great. We want to use you on our next production. And after 5 or 6 times, it's like, hey, like, do you want to try something else? And you can say to them, look, I've been doing this for a little while now. Can I learn from you? Can I work in this department? Can I see what's going on here? And that's kind of how you get into what you want to do.
I love that. It's very much a teaching industry. We keep hearing people say, so that's great to hear. And what pitfalls?
Yeah, I'm still learning too, and I've been doing this a while, and I've made a lot of films and things, and I've been on stage and screen and acting and in different things, and every project, every production is a different experience, and I'm like, wow, okay, I didn't know that. And so
Yeah,
exactly.
I have a list of feature film credits and so on, and every project is different. I have different challenges each time and different problems and different experiences. I did a film in Mexico and I was in a Mexican jail cell.
That's an experience.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, and you kind of look and you go, oh wow, like this is something I've never experienced before, and learning how the prison system works in Mexico is completely different from the prison system in the United States or any other country in the world. So, yeah, and you go, oh wow, that was something that I would never have experienced if I was just sitting in an office in California going, filing papers.
Exactly. Yeah, well, and what I like about what you said at the very beginning of it too was, knock on the doors, make the phone calls. Because I feel like a lot of people think, well, no doors are opening for me, so it's not going to happen. Right. Sometimes you have to open the doors. You have to make those phone calls. You have to, go to those places. And I love that advice. That's great advice. And Logan said, what pitfalls do you think? What are some things they definitely need to look out for? Because it can be a shady industry. Let's be honest about it. There are people out there that will take advantage of you.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like if you find, if you're wanting to produce or you wanting to write or whatever, especially in LA and California, everyone is a writer or an actor or a producer. So find your friends who do that. Make a little 1-minute iPhone video, whatever. Make it. It doesn't do anything, but make another one that's 5 minutes after that. Make one that's 10 minutes. Put it in a festival. It's easy enough to submit to festivals online and so on. So I think, though, that the most important thing to do is to find those people that you want to work with that are going to help you rise. You don't want to be around people who are like, I'm in this for the fame and the money. I don't care who I step on, and I'm going to step on you. I think you need to find people who genuinely want to work on their craft and want to rise to the top, but doing it, helping others with them, making sure that you go, hey, like, I'm making it, but I've been working with you since day one, and I want to see you come with me. I think that is really something that you should focus on and try and keep going throughout your career. I work with the same people over and over because of that. And, I think that helps me not just in my work, but in my everyday life as well, because I'm so much more in tune with everything, and I can focus on my work a lot more as well because I'm not surrounded by people who are trying to bring me down.
Absolutely.
Ooh, that's so good. That's so good. I'm so pumped up right now. Whew. Thank you so much, Charlotte, for coming on the show
Of
and
course.
spending a little time with us. And honorary crazy aunt, you right here.
I'm telling you, it fits right in, right?
Yeah,
Like,
seriously.
I think no,
Anytime you want to come back on and just like talk
Yeah,
about
just let me
anything,
know.
shoot the
Yeah.
shit. Like we have an industry news segment. We go deep dive into that, give our thoughts and opinions, and I think you'd be great for that.
oh, fantastic.
Yeah, anytime. You
Fantastic.
let me know.
Of
And
course.
look, I think I can speak for both of us when I say we will definitely be reaching out because I know we want to work with you in the future at some
Yes.
point. You
Yeah,
just
for
sound
sure.
absolutely amazing. It's no doubt you're
Thank
rising
you.
really quick and rightfully so. And yeah, just brilliant, brilliant interview.
Great. Thank you for having me. It's been so much fun talking to you guys.
Oh, you bet.
Awesome. You have a great rest of the day now, and we'll be reaching out to you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. So good, man. So good. A real up and comer trying to get her foot in the door any way she can. Like she's really kicking some ass.
Yeah, that whole interview, it just sounded like, this didn't go, so I'm going to go here and I'm going to do that. And just kicking down doors. She's that perfect example of like, if it doesn't work, make it work. Kick
Exactly.
it down, really inspiring.
Exactly. Thank you again, Charlotte Lawson, for coming on the show. All right, now it is time for the top 5 segment, man. Oof. Brought to you by our podcast producer, Jason, who has just been killing it recently, man.
Dude, man,
Killing it.
they're getting harder and harder, though. Like,
They are.
I mean, this one was tough because there's so many good ones in this category.
There is. This week it is top 5 courtroom dramas. Good damn.
Yeah, and he limited because he said just film.
Just film.
I'm like, damn. I guess maybe that's a good thing, though, because if you added in TV there, we'd have been here forever.
Yeah.
Like, just.
It's intense, man. It's intense. Well, my number 5 goes to 12 Angry Men, the original, black and white. Just so damn good, man. If you're a filmmaker and if you have not seen this movie, what the fuck? Just so many like great aspects, and I mean so many television shows, so many different like films have used their technique that this film like put in place. Like so, it was just so amazing to see, and of course, Daddy Fonda. Like,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the legend himself. You're right. 310 to Yuma is the most recent that I can think of that used the technique of shrinking the room with the camera to make you feel like you're in there and feeling the emotions. It's a brilliant piece of filmmaking. And it's one of the first films that took place entirely in one location.
Yeah.
The entire film is shot in the jury room. So it's crazy. You know how hard it is to film an entire movie in one room?
Yeah.
Like it's just that is my number 5 as well.
Yeah.
Because it's just like you said, if you're a fan of movies, if you're a cinephile, you should be watching this movie if you have not.
But I feel like it's a great depiction of people just trying to talk and get their opinions across to other people who may or may not want to listen. Because, I mean, we all know that one juror did not want to fucking sway his vote.
He did not.
It's just such a good, like, adaptation of what society is and what life is, trying to explain your opinions to other people and how sometimes people just might not understand. But, I mean, for the greater morality and the greater cause, like, it's worth it, man. It's worth it.
It's definitely worth it. And again, we say courtroom dramas, but this took place in the jury room of the courtroom. So, I mean, it's, epic.
So good. I mean, should I just go to my number 4 now? I mean, is it that?
I mean, that was my number 5 also. What's your number 4?
My number 4 goes to Philadelphia. Oh, I mean, of course, Tom Hanks, Denzel Washington. I mean, this is such a great movie, especially in a time where AIDS was like a taboo, I guess you would say. Not a lot of people were like even wanting to talk about it, or
it was only the gay disease.
Yeah,
then.
and like people discriminating against people, like losing his job, and like all these different things. Like, so this movie came out at such a beautiful, perfect time. So of course it's going to be on my list. Tom Hanks, of course, I've said before, the best actor of our generation by far. Like, I think he's an amazing actor. And didn't he win an award for this one? Isn't this the one
he won the Oscar. Yeah. Denzel Washington. I mean, just like Antonio Banderas. Phenomenal freaking cast.
Yeah.
I mean, just hard to watch though.
It is hard to watch.
Even the boss, Bruce Springsteen, won an Oscar for the song "Streets of Philadelphia." It's tough though. The transformation that Hanks makes in this film, to going from healthy to dying of AIDS is just terrifying.
It is.
It is absolutely terrifying and gut wrenching to watch. But you're right. One of the and yeah, I don't even know. I don't have words for it. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It floods back bad memories for me watching it just because of situations. But it's one of those films that will have you talking. It will make you feel. It will. It's definitely a brilliant piece of filmmaking.
Must see.
Definitely. My number 4 is the film that probably spawned more lawyers than any other film in history. If you saw this movie, you wanted to become a lawyer. You know what I'm talking about. Atticus Finch himself, Gregory Peck, To Kill a Mockingbird.
Oh.
If you watched this film and did not want to be a lawyer, something was wrong.
Right.
I'm just saying. It's exactly what you were just talking about with 12 Angry Men. It's the idea of this guy going in and against all odds, against all things to know to be, convincing other people of his idea that this is what happened. This is how it should be. The whole argument in court to sway a jury. And it's just absolutely brilliant.
It is.
To Kill a Mockingbird, just unbelievable. The novel obviously was insane, but the film even more so. It's some of the best filmmaking I've ever seen, and I think, in my opinion, a lot of jury movies, and even a couple more that I have on my list, and probably you have on your list, inspired by To Kill a Mockingbird, without doubt. So, if just the story of a black man wrongfully accused.
Yeah, especially in that time period where you can imagine, like, that happened so many times. Or, I mean, flip-flop it to where there was violence against a white person, or violence against a black person by a white person and got acquitted. Like Emmett Till's situation. Like,
right.
So...
Oh, man, that was another one that could have been on the list.
Yeah.
But, To Kill a Mockingbird, just unbelievable.
So good, man. So good. My number 3 goes to a more recent film, Just Mercy. So damn good. Michael B. Jordan, Jamie Foxx, Brie Larson. I mean, the cast is absolutely amazing, and I mean, the story is even better. I mean, we come from the South, Mississippi, New Orleans, Alabama, that area. So, and I mean, for it to take place in this town to where, like, it was really close to home, and I mean, this shit is still going on. So, I mean, it's crazy. It's an amazing story. If you haven't seen this movie, please stop what you're doing after the show and go see this movie, because Just Mercy is one of the best of the past year.
I'm pretty sure that road that he drives down, is showing the stark differences in the neighborhoods. But that one road that he drives down when he's getting to Jamie Foxx's character's house, that's still there.
Yeah.
Oh, and
for sure.
It was not fake.
No.
That's that road. That's that neighborhood. That's those people, and it still exists today. It's just, I'm with you though. I just think one of the best of right now, and Michael B. Jordan should have won an Oscar.
I agree.
That's all I'm saying. He should have finally gotten his Oscar there, and he didn't. So we're a little upset about that.
Yeah, just saying.
Just a great film. Great film. All right, my number 3 was also on my list of surprises. You remember our movie category, surprise thrillers? Like, what? Well, Primal Fear.
Yeah.
Again, it's Richard Gere and Edward Norton, and about the altar boy that's accused of killing the priest, and you think he's like this, he's got a split personality, and you think that the main guy in control is a little scary, stuttering kid and everything, but no, it's a psychopathic killer. He's in control, and the whole back and forth courtroom scene and the argument, and seeing Richard Gere's character defending him this whole time, thinking that the main character, the main guy in control is the stuttering kid, and finding out that that's not the case, and that he's been manipulated in court the entire time by the psychopathic killer. It's just epic. Yeah. I just, Laura Linney is in it. I just a fantastic courtroom drama, and just one that you don't see coming, and I would highly recommend it. Primal Fear.
Definitely. Well, my number 2 goes to another more recent film. Came out less than 10 years ago, maybe around 5, maybe around 6. The Judge. Robert Downey Jr., Robert Duvall, Billy Bob Thornton, Vincent D'Onofrio, Jeremy Strong, Dax Shepard. I could go on and on, guys. This freaking movie is so damn good, especially like if you have that connection to where you may or may not have an estranged father, and then coming back to try to help them out in any possible way you can, because at the end of the day, that is your dad. So I mean, even if you have like that estranged relationship, like The Judge is such a phenomenal movie. I'm not sure if people know the premise of it, but RDJ, a lawyer coming back to his hometown in Indiana, where his dad, the judge of this small town, is just like going downhill because he's got forget what disease it was.
Cancer.
Yeah. He had cancer and was making some wrong calls in the courtroom, and of course may or may have not have killed somebody because of the cancer and like not remembering.
Yep.
So just an amazing movie, guys. If you have not seen The Judge, definitely take the time to watch that one as well. All of these are must-see.
I mean, definitely. And the work between RDJ and Robert Duvall is just absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, the shower scene is just, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it's so unbelievably intense and phenomenal. And so many stories behind that film. Nicholson was supposed to be in Duvall's place, and apparently that didn't work out. He wanted too many changes to the character, and they just weren't having it. So, but just brilliant. I don't think anybody could have pulled it off better than Duvall.
Yeah, agreed.
So, just good film, man. Good film. My number 2 is one of the ones that I was talking about, wholeheartedly inspired by To Kill a Mockingbird, and I'm talking about A Time to Kill with all right, Matthew McConaughey and Samuel L. Jackson and Sandra Bullock and Ashley Judd, and just an amazing cast about, again, a black man wrongfully accused in the South. And, you know, judge, jury, and executioner seem to be all the same person in the South. So Matthew McConaughey stands up and goes to court for this guy, and it just ends up becoming an epic courtroom drama and suspense-filled and danger and just... I think some of the best courtroom dramas ever are the ones that deal with the South.
Yeah.
And wrongful, you know, accusations. It's just, it's scary. But if you haven't seen this movie, I would highly recommend it. It's absolutely brilliant. And I think what launched Matthew McConaughey into superstardom.
Yeah.
You know, he had a few hits before that, obviously, but I just think this one took him over the top. People were like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Such a good movie.
Time to Kill.
Yes, definitely. Well, my number 1 goes to Sleepers. I mean, coming from Hell's Kitchen. I mean, Robert De Niro, Kevin Bacon, Brad Pitt, Jason Patrick, Billy Crudup, who just won an Emmy, by the way, for the morning show.
Apple's first Emmy.
Yeah, I mean, and just so many good actors. But of course, I mean, being boys being boys and doing something they shouldn't have done. Taking the hot dog cart and it going down the stairs, down the subway stairs, and accidentally running somebody over. So they get sent up to a boys' home, and while they're at the boys' home, they get molested by the guards. And then, like, years and years go by after they got out and after all this passed. 2 boys of the 4 boys turn into gangsters, and they find the main guard and they kill him. So that's what they went to court for. But while in court, they were able to expose the molestation ring and were able to expose all these guards who got away from all these accusations and got away from everything like that, and to get acquitted from the murder charge. So, I mean, that's always a good thing, but it's payback. It's always an eye for an eye type of thing, and I love those type of movies because revenge is so good. Not to be cynical or evil or anything, but when you get that revenge, or when you see something happen to you from, you know, it's a great movie. And of course, Brad Pitt. Everybody knows I love Brad Pitt.
There it was.
Yeah.
I was waiting. Waiting. All right. Good choice, though. Good choice. You want the truth?
No. I can't handle it.
No, you can't handle the truth. My number 1, hands down, by far, I think many would agree, but for me, hands down, the best courtroom drama ever. Ever. That's all I'm saying.
Ever.
A Few Good Men. A Few Good Men.
Yeah.
Why? Because deep down in places you don't want to talk about, you need that movie on your TV. You want that movie on your TV. Just that scene alone, you know, the whole "Did you order the code red?" and the whole back and forth. The entire movie is brilliant, but just that scene makes the whole thing worth it. Nicholson and Cruise and Demi Moore and Kevin Bacon and just like these freaking phenomenal cast and the brilliant Aaron Sorkin.
Yeah, of course.
The dialogue there is just insane. A lot of dialogue that you would probably not get away with in a movie today.
Oh no.
The whole thing where you say you sit there in your faggoty white uniform and that would never fly today. But just it's classic Nicholson at his best. It's probably Cruise at his best. Just absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant about the code red ordering of the death of a Marine in Guantanamo Bay. You guys, if you haven't seen it, what the fuck?
Yeah, seriously.
My number one, A Few Good Men.
Such a good pick, man. Such a good pick. Well, guys, what are your top 5 courtroom dramas? We want to know. Be sure to comment on the YouTube video, because we're back on YouTube right now. You can see our smiling faces. Or on the podcast, the podcast apps, wherever you listen to your podcast, and just comment in the description, all those good things, and we appreciate you because we like the fan interaction, and we want to know what's your favorite type of courtroom drama or film in general. I mean, surprisingly, my cousin Vinny wasn't on either one of our picks.
Oh my god, yeah!
My cousin Vinny and freaking...
I bet a lot of the Utes out there love that one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But super surprised, man. Super surprised. Thank you for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to do all the YouTube things. Like, subscribe, ring that bell, all of it. We appreciate you. Get crazy, stay crazy. Oh, man. But now it is time for the box office recap. Oh, man. Oh, man. It's slow, like we've been talking about. With no freaking, movies, blockbusters coming out. It's really slow. Like Tenet, it's been out for like a month now, or 3 weeks, a month, and it still stayed at number 1, and it came in at number 1 for 4.7 million. New Mutants still at number 2 with 1.8. Infidel with 1.4. Unhinged with 1.3. And The Broken Hearts Gallery with 802,000.
It's so funny to me to say that the number 1 movie for the entire weekend, 4.8 million.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not even what it would make on a Thursday night preview in the normal box office, pre-COVID. It would make 5 times that in a Thursday night preview, right? But now for the whole weekend.
Yeah. It's super crazy, man.
Scary.
Super crazy. I guess new movies you can still go see at select theaters and drive-ins and all those good places. Malibu Road, The Break the Silence, Ava, Chameleonaire, and The Last Shift. And movies you can still go see are the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run, Bill and Ted Face the Music, Alone, The Personal History of David Copperfield, Words on the Bathroom Walls, and The Secrets We Keep. I just don't know. I'm just going to stay off of the predictions for now.
Oh, yeah, it's impossible.
It's just so bad.
Yeah,
it's
impossible.
So bad.
I'd like to know where you people can still see these movies.
Right?
Because we can't see them, and we're not happy about it.
No, we can't see any of them. Oh, man. But now heading over to IMDb Pro's top trending segment. Oh, man, you guys know we love this app. It's literally what myself, J-Lo Fantastic, The Mouth, and Jason we use to fill up industry news and do all of our amazing things every single week. But no surprise, the top trending movie this week is The Devil All the Time. Tom Holland's, Robert Pattinson's, Jason Clarke's, such a great, great film, dark as fuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Check it out.
If you want to hear some great behind-the-scenes stories about that movie, an upcoming guest, we may or may not have a star from that movie to tell you some pretty good stories about Jason Clarke.
Yeah, man.
Stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned.
It is a crazy film, though. Have you watched it yet?
I have not.
Whoo, Pattinson is just
Yeah.
Yeah. Creepy. Batman and Spider-Man are both kind of creepy.
Oh, no.
They're two creepy guys.
Oh, that's so funny. The top trending TV show is The Boys, rocking and rolling for its 2nd season. And, of course, with that being said, the top trending star is Erin Moriarty. She's rocking and rolling with that as well. I mean, taking a more impactful role the 2nd season, it looks like.
Most definitely. Her and Jack Quaid are just ripping it up right now. They are just exploding onto the scene, and I think huge careers are going to be for them for years and years and years.
Yeah.
Just talented as shit.
Agreed, man. Agreed. Super exciting to see. Well, guys, thank you so much for getting crazy with us on episode 131 of Inside the Crazy Ant Farm. we got to thank our guest one more time, Charlotte Larsen, for coming on and getting a little crazy. Be sure to follow her anywhere and everywhere. I'm sure she has a website. Check her out on her website. Check out her documentaries and all those amazing things she has going on.
Ooh, that documentary about AI.
Oh, it's creepy. It's crazy.
It's just,
yeah, it's super scary.
Watch that and you'll be like,
right?
I'm never turning Alexa on again.
Ever again. They're watching. They're all watching.
That's right.
Be sure to follow the company on social media at Crazy Ant Media. Be sure to follow the podcast on social media at ItCaf Podcast. You can follow us both personally on social media, myself at JLoFantastic and
Crazy Ant Guy 1970.
That's right.
And just what? If you add one more to that mix, Jeremy Gordon.
Just
Gordon. Saying you're automatically entered into the contest.
That's right. And of course, the contest, after following all 5 of those accounts, be sure to comment on the promotional post so that we know you're entered. Remember, guys, that contest ends 10/2 next Friday, October 2nd. No, we're going to start putting that out there a lot. I mean, we've been promoting it, but now we want to let you guys know it ends next week. You can subscribe to this podcast anywhere you listen to your podcast. Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Podbean, and so many more. If you're watching this video on YouTube, hi! Thank you for watching it on YouTube. Be sure to like the video, subscribe, ring that bell, do all those amazing YouTube things, and continue to love and support us because we appreciate it. We need our sugar daddies. And be sure to visit our website, crazyantmedia.com, where you can start rocking the latest and greatest Crazy Ant Media gear.
You can't find any sugar daddies there. No, it's not that kind of a website.
No. Click on the merchandise tab and check out our new designs. We appreciate everybody for helping us soar.
Yes, and this guy's got some cool Christmas designs coming with Bonk, man.
Super
it's going to be really fun.
We're going to be releasing those designs Thanksgiving night, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Super excited about that. But, I mean, there was a lot of good stuff to talk about on the show today. There was a lot of good stuff. Honestly, the guest segments are always so good. The top 5s are always so good. But, I don't know. There's so much to think about. I'm super happy that The Watchmen finally got an Emmy for a limited series and a super comic book show is finally getting acknowledgement because, I mean, we're in the day and age where superhero shows are the thing. So, I mean, of course, they need their acknowledgement, especially from the award shows. But the Netflix stuff, the Disney stuff, all that good stuff. I'm excited to see the Rogue One series happen too.
Yes, without doubt. I agree with you. The guest segment, always one of my favorite parts of the show. And you guys know, man, full out comic geek. So the whole idea of all the Marvel stuff that we talked about, even being pushed back, it's just still exciting to know it's all coming. And the WandaVision trailer. Man, I'm so stoked about the WandaVision trailer. I mean, Vision in his throwback comic book costume and shit. Man, just so exciting. I love talking about that shit.
Yeah.
I just can't get enough.
Yeah.
I can't get enough. And the fact that, I don't know. Marvel kicks ass. That's all I'm saying.
That's all I'm saying. You know who else kicks ass? The one and only O that matters.
That's right. Oprah!